Hey guys, welcome back to another channel update. Yes, another one. I wasn't going to do a second channel update at all, but something pretty bad happened recently, and I feel like I need to update you guys on it. Not something bad that happened to me personally, it's more so something really bad that happened to my laptop. I was foolish to think that this would never happen to my laptop, but alas, it has in fact happened, and I'm kind of angry, but also pretty hopeful at the same time. I don't know, I'm gonna explain what the hell's been going on in the past couple of weeks, but first of all, the footage that you're seeing on the screen here is a combination of two games. The first game that you're seeing is Facade, but the other game you'll be seeing, if I end up talking for more than 15 minutes in this video, is 10 Million. Both games I've covered on my channel in the past, Facade very extensively, and you might already know that if you're a longtime viewer of my channel, because I used to play Facade very often, especially back in 2012, 2013. I don't know if I'd say it became one of the staples of my channel, but my Facade videos definitely received more views than some of the other series on my channel. I've been debating whether or not to bring the series back, but that's not important right now. My decision to include 10 million footage in this video does have a bit of significance though, which I'm going to discuss later on, but for now, why has there been no uploads again in like 2.5 weeks? Well, the thing is, there was supposed to be an upload on December 13th. I actually had a video recorded and ready to be uploaded, and I was actually in the process of uploading it to YouTube when this happened. And by the way, because of this occurrence, that video is actually completely lost now. I no longer have the video file, and it never finished uploading to YouTube, which means I'm gonna have no choice but to re-record it. But one problem at a time. So, what exactly happened? Well, as I was uploading this video, my laptop suddenly crashed. Now this is not really an unusual occurrence, because I've had instances where my laptop has randomly crashed on me in the past. Once when I was trying to record a video, as soon as I hit start recording on OBS, just blue screened like instantly, but that was the only time that ever happened. And another time was when I was attempting to render a video in Vegas. I was worried at first that the second crash, back when it happened, might have corrupted the project file, because for some reason I couldn't open it at first. Like, it would start loading, but it would never finish. Eventually though, I somehow managed to get it to load, and the files were just fine, nothing got corrupted, and I was still able to render the video. That video in particular was the Delete and Nights double feature that I did back in February. And the third time my laptop crashed was on December 13th when I was trying to upload the new gameplay video, which is now lost completely because, unfortunately, my entire operating system seemed to have gotten corrupted. Now, of course, I don't know for sure if it was the operating system itself, but something really weird happened when I attempted to restart my laptop. Normally, because I have an Alienware laptop, there is supposed to be a loading icon that appears underneath the Alienware logo, and it's supposed to begin animating shortly after the laptop starts up, when it shows the Powered by Klipsch Audio logo. Well, that logo is supposed to disappear after a few seconds, and then it's supposed to display the loading icon. Well, the loading icon didn't appear at all. So that was the first bizarre thing I noticed, because I'd never seen that happen before. So I thought, okay, that's kind of weird, but, you know, maybe my laptop will still be able to start up. So I gave it a few more minutes, and then it showed a blue screen. Now, it wasn't a blue screen of death, because the screen didn't actually have any text on it. It was just a blank blue screen. And I knew for a fact that was not normal, because normally when my laptop loads, the screen is supposed to be green, because that's the color I set it to. And it stayed on this blue screen for about 10 seconds before my laptop shut off again. Now, I still didn't think much of it at the time, because I thought, okay, well, this is a bit of an unusual occurrence, but, you know, maybe it's just a one-time thing. So I tried to start my laptop back up again, and once again, loading icon did not appear, and after waiting a few minutes, again, it showed me that blue screen for a few seconds, then it shut off again. I tried it a third time, did the exact same thing. So then I was starting to become convinced that there was a problem, because now it seemed like my laptop would not start up at all, so I had no choice but to open up System Repair, which, for the record, if you have one of these Alienware laptops, you can do that by just simply pressing Ctrl-Alt-Delete, and it should bring up, like, the System Repair menu. And I tried everything to get my laptop back up and running, believe me. I think I tried, like, every single option available to me, but none of them worked. So, long story short, I pretty much had no choice but to use System Repair. The only problem was that if I were to run System Repair, that means my hard drive would be formatted completely and I would lose all of my files. Now keep in mind that I have a lot of video files stored on my hard drive, or at least I used to, because it is all gone now. I think all of the recordings that I've done over the past, not 7 years, because some of the, like, older recordings I had were not on my, or not on this laptop, I shouldn't say my other laptop, because I'm pretty sure I deleted them off of that one too. But all of the recordings that I made in the past 3 years or so were stored on this laptop, and it was taking up like a third of the space on my hard drive, and my hard drive is like 1 terabyte in size. It's completely gone now, and the main reason is because I didn't have an external hard drive to store anything on. Because, being the moron that I normally am, I didn't think that anything like this would ever happen to me, so I never bothered getting an external hard drive, and now this happened, and, well, I'm pissed at myself now. Now keep in mind that I said the operating system itself got corrupted. When I ran System Repair, it didn't actually repair my laptop because it never started the System Repair. It actually froze at 0%. It just stayed there for like a half hour and never went anywhere. So me, being the impatient son of a bitch that I am, and also completely ignoring the fact that it actually warns you specifically not to do this, I decided to forcibly shut down my laptop during the system repair process, and yeah, the operating system got corrupted as a result. And I know that System 32 in particular got completely nuked because it even told me that it was missing files from the System 32 folder, so I thought, well, that's it, I completely destroyed my laptop and it's all my fault. So you're probably wondering how exactly I'm recording this video. Well, I am actually recording this on the exact same laptop because I didn't have to get a new one. What I did instead was that I decided to finally get Windows 10. I got Windows 10 installed on this laptop, which I think is something I said I was considering doing. I think I mentioned in like one of my really old Trackmania videos that I was considering upgrading to Windows 10, because that was back when I still had the free offer to upgrade to Windows 10. But I never took it because I was worried that some of my older games would no longer work. But now that my old operating system completely broke down on me and I couldn't even start up my laptop anymore, I pretty much didn't have a choice. I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll finally go and get Windows 10, install it on this laptop. We'll see if it's as crappy as people claim it is, but to tell you guys the truth, I haven't actually been having too much issues with it. I'm actually pretty content with Windows 10, to tell you the truth. A lot of my games still seem to work. I decided to reinstall some of my Steam games. I do have Steam reinstalled. I had to basically reinstall every single program that I had on my hard drive before, which took a while, but I have most of the essentials, you know, all the stuff that I need to actually make videos. I have Steam, and I have OBS Studio. I'm actually using OBS Studio now, because I was using the vanilla OBS for the past year or so. Yeah, vanilla OBS, you know, the original OBS that isn't even supported anymore. I was using that for, like, the past year. In my defense, though, I was not aware that development had already been abandoned on it when I began using it near the end of 2017. Although, to be honest, that's not really a valid defense because I could have just gone to the website to check for updates. But whatever, I have OBS Studio now. I'm still trying to figure out how exactly everything works. I did actually use this to record the minute video that I uploaded back in April, but I hadn't used it since because I was just more content with using vanilla OBS, but I do actually like this one a lot better because the file sizes are not as large as they used to be, because OBS, like vanilla OBS, used to create ginormous file sizes that just ate up all the space on my hard drive. It's not so bad with the Studio version. Like, it still retains pretty much the exact same quality as vanilla OBS, but the file size is a lot smaller now, which is great for me, although, to be honest, that wouldn't be too much of a problem now, because, I mean, since I lost everything that I had on my hard drive before, I have a lot of space freed up now. So, I mean, even if the file sizes end up being like 10 gigabytes in size, that's not really a big deal anymore. But either way, it's still pretty good. And speaking of hard drives, I do actually have my old hard drive still. Like, it's still installed in my laptop, but like I said, everything got wiped from it, so it's basically empty now. I did, however, get a second drive, a solid-state drive, which is also about 1 terabyte in size, which means I essentially have 2 hard drives now, and I have 2 terabytes of space. So I have even more room to store all of my recordings on, like all of my backups. So obviously that's a good thing. I still have my old hard drive, and I have a brand new solid-state drive that is definitely a lot faster. I did notice that my laptop actually runs significantly faster than it used to. I don't know if it was just because of Windows 8.1, or if this was like a problem with Windows 8.1, but there did come a time eventually where my operating system, or well, not the OS, like my entire laptop just started to run incredibly slowly, and I don't know if that was because my hard drive was almost filled to the brim, because it was almost full, like almost 1 terabyte of the space that was available on it, it was almost used up completely, and that was mostly because of my recordings, like all the backup recordings that I had, not to mention all the old ones that I had, like that I've been storing for the past 3 years, and the new ones that I recorded as well. So I'm definitely more content with how my laptop is running now, for sure, and what's even better is that the fan is not as loud. I'm not exactly sure what happened to the fan, but it's just a lot quieter now for some reason. It doesn't make as much noise anymore, which means you won't hear as much background noise in my videos anymore. Like, even when the CPU is being really stressed out, it still remains relatively quiet, which is like a miracle to me. So I'm not exactly sure what the heck happened to it, but I'm content with it nonetheless. I am definitely not complaining. I mean, the fact that my fan was so loud before was something that I greatly complained about back in the day. I say back in the day, it was only like 3 years ago. It wasn't that long. Also, I really don't understand why I keep saying back in the day all the time. I mean, I'm not that old. I'm only 21. Yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention that. I know I'm getting a bit off topic here, but it was my birthday about a week ago on December 12th. I am finally 21 years old now, so I'm basically old enough to do, like, everything that adults are allowed to do in society now. So I am now a fully fledged adult. I'm old enough to drink in, like, every country now, instead of just my own country of Canada. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that real quickly, because I couldn't mention that before, because I didn't even have a laptop to work with for the past week. So the TLDR to this whole story, my laptop randomly crashed on me again, it seems to have corrupted the operating system for good this time, had to get a new one. I'm actually very content with the new one, because it seems to run a lot quicker than it used to. Got a solid state drive installed, which means I essentially have 2 hard drives now. I have twice the space that I did before, so I have a lot more space for my recordings, which is pretty much the only thing that filled up my hard drive before. That and all of the Steam games I had installed, obviously, but mostly the recordings. So does this mean I am finally going to keep my promise and get back to making videos for real? Well, obviously yes. I am definitely going to be getting back into making videos real soon, but probably not until after Christmas, because you guys already know, Christmas is fast approaching. It's only like 4 days away at the time I'm recording this video, so I'm probably going to be taking a break for the holidays, because this is around the time of the year where I would rather spend time with my family for a while, so I'm probably going to be doing that instead for maybe the next week or so, but I will be back very soon. I might even be back before New Year's, actually. I don't know, we'll see what happens, but I do want to try spending time with my family for the holidays, so there is probably still not going to be a normal gameplay video for at least another week, but I'll most likely be back for the final week of December, or the first week of January. Like I said, we'll see what happens. I don't really know what's going to happen right now, but I am going to keep my promise to you guys. Uploads are going to be a lot more consistent. I really wanted to start putting in the effort to changing that like 2 weeks ago, but then bullshit had to happen. So much bullshit, matter-of-factly. But we're finally back up and running. Everything is all hunky-dory now. Everything's fine and good. Like I said in the previous update video, daily uploads are still not coming back because I really feel like I just cannot do them anymore at this point. I just don't have the time. And I think that's about it, actually. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to discuss in this video. So I might as well end it off by saying this. What exactly is the significance of me adding 10 million footage into this video? Well, I don't want to say the exact name of the next game that's going to go live on my channel, or I guess the next game I'm going to cover, but it is heavily related to 10 million. The next video that I'm going to cover on my channel is not 10 million, because I already did a video on that back in January, but the next game that I'm going to play is heavily related to 10 million. As a matter of fact, it's actually the sequel to the game. I forgot to mention in that old video that 10 million does in fact have a sequel, and I'm finally going to be playing the sequel, but as I mentioned already, I already recorded a video of it, but I'm gonna have to re-record it, because the original file has now been lost. My laptop crashed as I was uploading it to YouTube, and as a result, the upload was automatically cancelled. And since there's no way for me to retrieve the file now, because my old hard drive was completely wiped of all the files it used to possess, I'm gonna have no choice but to re-record it. What kinda sucks as well is that all the saves I had on both 10 million and its sequel were destroyed completely, so I had to go back and play the games and try to retrieve all of my progress, like get back all of my progress manually by simply playing them. I already managed to do that for the sequel because I had a specific plan for that video. I had everything planned out, and it was a little bit of a hassle, but I managed to get back to the point where I was in the 10 million sequel. So the save file for that has effectively been restored, so when I go back and re-record that video, I'll still be able to play it in the way that I did before. Like, I'll still be able to follow the same plan that I had for the video. It'll play out the exact same way as the old recording, with maybe a few discrepancies in the commentary, of course, and possibly how I play, because 10 million sequel, much like the original, is a pretty luck-based game. I don't know, there's a lot of RNG bullshit that's constantly occurring in both of those games. Hopefully I'll be able to push through it either way, but yeah, I think that's pretty much everything, guys, so yes, I am finally back, for real this time, I promise. Uploads are actually going to go back to their normal schedules starting in the next week or so, or they're going to go back to a more consistent schedule, provided that nothing else breaks down on me and or bursts into flames. Fingers crossed, of course, but you know, it's always healthy to have just a small dose of skepticism. Anyway, that's it for this update video. Hopefully I'm not going to have to make any more of these, unless I absolutely have to. So this will by far be the final update video of 2018. Everything is going to go back to normal, assuming that God himself is still not out to get me like he has been for the past 2 weeks. And yeah, we can finally get back to reviewing more indie games and retro titles and whatnot. By the way, I also lost all of the ROMs for the old arcade games that I was planning on reviewing soon, so I'm gonna have to go and get all of those back, which might prove a bit more difficult now because MU Paradise was shut down very recently. Oh well, either way, I'm still gonna try and find some method to playing these games again. They'll still be arriving eventually, but yeah, I think that's pretty much everything now, for real this time. So as always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you sometime next week, possibly, or maybe sometime at the beginning of 2019, I don't know, sometime within the next week or two. Hopefully we can get things back on track, and hopefully 2019 will not be as much of a disaster as this year was. Let's just hope that everything starts getting better for the channel within the next 12 months or so. See if we can finally get the ball rolling again. I'm still really excited to get back into doing this. I feel like I've actually got my motivation back. I'll see you guys back here within the next week or so, and we can finally begin revitalizing the channel again. Try to bring it back from the dead, because I feel like the fact that I've been so, like, lax on recording videos and uploading videos has really taken a toll on the channel itself, since everything has been so wonky in the past 9 or 10 months, but let's see if we can reverse that, possibly, starting next week, and yeah, that's about it. So, thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for continuing to support me in this channel, despite all of the mistakes I've made and all of my shortcomings, and let's see if we can try to make 2019 the best possible year for the channel. So, see you guys back next week, and we can begin the repairing process. See you then. Later, guys.